Hello Internet friends, and welcome to my Legion Blood Death Knight first look preview summary recap video extravaganza, the Electric Boogaloo. Currently in the Legion beta. I just got done testing the class for about the last 3 hours or so. This is going to be the YouTube video series that I will upload and put up after I have dived in and talked to chat room live, and this will be the YouTube wrap-up of what we found. So first things first, I want to go through the bugs that I found that I've written down in my bug report here. So, Vampiric Blood plus Death Strike healing is super not correct. There is like 19 extra zeros. Blood Strike heals for like 200 plus million, which is wrong. I mean, it's obviously fine. So that's bad. The Rune Tap cooldown is not working, which is a talent, which I'll go into all that stuff in a minute. The Rune Tap cooldown currently not working. It also says it costs 2 runes, but the tooltip says it only costs 1. Incorrect. Rapid Decomposition is currently not working correctly. The the healing increase from being in your own defile, and then the Blood Plague affected targets, like nothing happens, the heal doesn't change. And Ossuary needs to have its cleave range noted on Mirror End, because right now you don't know how far the cleave range is. I'm assuming it's going to be like melee range cleave, so it's really, really close together. And based on the fact that like Consume Vitality and Rapid Decomposition will most likely be just flat out better, the Mirror Red hitting 2 targets has to happen, but then it's only a chance to gain a Bone Shield is kind of like, it should just be 2 plus targets equals 1 Bone Shield, right? It's not even that powerful. You only have 10 Bone Shield charges anyway. So, I don't know, kind of weird. Consume Vitality also needs a range indicator. We've sort of mathed out that it looks like it's a 10-yard range, because at 12 it doesn't actually work. So probably 10-yard range, because it's all nearby enemies, but again, no range indicator. Consume Vitality, while we're on this topic right now, needs to hit a target to heal you. But the missing health portion was working properly. And Bone Storm needs a range indicator as well, because Bone Storm doesn't actually say how long the range is which it hits things. So a lot of tooltips need range indicators, but for the most part, I think what we found out here is that Blood Death Knight feels very refreshed. I play a Death Knight, like I have some knowledge of the Death Knight class. I played it for a whole tier as my ult, and I played it back in Wrath a lot, so I've had some experience with it in the past. But for the most part, it feels pretty awesome. Multi-strike being gone. Oops, sorry. Multi-strike being gone really makes all the stats really beneficial, I feel. Bonus armor will obviously be very good for all of the classes, all the tank classes in the game, because it's really important. Bonus armor doesn't give more attack power anymore, which I don't know if that's only in certain classes ever got attack power, like bladed armor kind of passives, but bonus armor will be very important. But like crit gives mastery. Crit also increases the chance for your heals to crit, like your Blood Plague dot heal can crit. It's all separate from if the dot damage crits, it's not going to mean that the heal crits. It's all separate, but it does feel really good to have those extra crit heals now and then. It also gives you parry, so crit is good. Haste is obviously attack speed, which is less important, but rune regeneration, very important, right? More runes, the more better. You can, do more abilities. So you don't generate runic power by like auto attack, multi-strikes, and stuff like that. You only generate runic power by spending runes. 1 rune equals 10 runic power, unless it's Blood Strike, which is 1 rune to give you the 10 base plus the extra 10. So mastery, obviously very important now. They've refixed how Blood Shield works a little bit, where it's not the damage that you deal, it's just that your Death Strike deals damage, but you will heal for 50% of all damage taken in the last 6 seconds, or if that is less than your minimum 7% of maximum health. So, like, if you're off tanking your full HP, you'll always sort of build up a blood shield worth per strike of 7% of your maximum health. And they rolled the Will of Necropolis into this new part of Death Strike, where if you're below 30% health, when you cast Death Strike, it will consume all of your runic power, and it will increase the potency of the healing effect. What I saw, being at really low health, it looks like it's about 50% stronger if you consume 60 runic power or so. It might be 1% per 1 runic power, which we might find out later on in testing. But from what I've seen right now, it's like a oh crap, I just got chunked, death strike. You know, it's a stronger heal. It might not save your life, but it definitely is there because there's no rune tap as it is currently in live in Warlords. There's no small little shield wall thing that resets and you get another one. It's not like that at all. So, and then Mastery, of course, increases your attack power, but then also increases the, effect you gain from your Blood Shield, which is very important. Like, that's super, super big deal. And then we have bonus armor, we went over that. And versatility, we've did test. Versatility obviously has a flat damage increase, but it also increases healing done. And it does increase the the Death Strike heal and the shield. Obviously, it's very small portions, but it is there. And of course, versatility also decreases damage taken. So it's a pretty strong, straightforward, like, secondary stat now. Like, every stat for a tank, all 5 of them, have some value. I think for the most part, haste and mastery will be very important for Blood Death Knights. And bonus armor, of course, on the jewelry slots you can get it as. But, like, versatility and crit, like, aren't gonna be bad. Like, they still are beneficial for your overall play. So, I think that it's interesting that the removal of multi-strike really helps other stats sort of shine a little bit better because they're all you have. So, things to go over of note that I have in my notes here is that Vampiric Blood is your big cooldown. There's no IBF anymore. So, your Vampiric Blood, which is now right here. So, you embrace the Undeath, increasing your maximum health by 100%. You double your HP pool and increases all healing received by 100%, both external and yourself. 3-minute cooldown, though. It's a 1-minute cooldown on live. It's 15% HP and 15% healing received. So, it's a huge swing that this is your real cooldown. So, for 10 seconds, you should basically not die, more or less. You're going to heal for so much and get healed for so much. That's your big cooldown. So, still 10-second duration. And stacking Death Strike plus Vampiric Blood looks to be about a fourth of your base HP per heal per Death Strike at 7%. So, that's what I was looking at math-wise. At least at 400k HP that I'm at right now. Under Vampiric Blood plus a Death Strike, you should be able to heal about a quarter of your HP a hit. It looks about that. So, because doubling your health increases the coefficient of the 7%, plus it also double dips with the HP heal, giving you a stronger heal and a stronger blood shield. The Blood Plague healing, which is the 1% max HP per Blood Plague tick, which goes off of your Blood Strike, can crit, and again, like I said before, it is totally separate from your damage critting. And it stacks. If you have 20 Blood Plagues up, you'll get healed for 20% of your HP every tick it happens. It's kind of crazy. I don't know if there's a cap on it, but we'll see. Death's Caress is your new ranged attack here, which is just like Death Coil, but not Death Coil. It's just an instant. It'll probably have an animation eventually. There's no animation now, but just a straight up, like, here's some damage. It generates 10 runic power because it costs 1 rune, and it puts Blood Plague on the target. Very, very simple. It's just like lap. It doesn't really, not too crazy. Rune Tap Heal, which is what I have talented right now, which again doesn't work properly, can crit, which you just see right there, it did crit. So, and that just crits based off your spell crit, your crit base chance. So, Rune Tap looks pretty strong. Feeding Frenzy doesn't work right now, but all it does is increase the Will of Necropolis heal when you're under 30% health with your Death Strike. And Bloodworms is back, but it's weird. Bloodworms is passive, and it can heal you later. Feeding Frenzy is low health. Bloodworms is high health. And then Rune Tap is whenever you want to. But again, cooldown doesn't work, so we don't know. I personally think Consume Vitality is super powerful. I'll show you the animation for it right now because it looks amazing. It's like Super Blood Boil. Ossuary, you're standing in your Death and Decay, and your Marrow Rend will hit multiple targets. It's kind of good. And Rapid Decomposition is just that your Death and Decay and your Defile do more damage, and your Blood Plague will go up to 1.5% of your health every tick instead of 1%. So, I'm not going to go too much into the rune stuff because, like, these are all sort of, like, up in the air right now. We don't know. Runic Corruption looks good. Runic Empowerment looks meh. Maybe with Breath of Sindragosa it's good. Runic Longevity looks really passive and simple. Spellbreaker is a huge bonus to your AMS. You can really kind of cheese Breath of Sindragosa with Spellbreaker. I think it's going to be a pretty crazy back and forth. how it's going to work. Exhume looks pretty powerful. It's just Bone Shield charges. It's just Bone Shield charges. It's a 50-second cooldown, technically, to give you 10 Bone Shield charges. It's pretty straightforward, whereas Death Pact is still the huge heal plus the Absorb Shield. Purgatory is still the passive. Gorfine's Grasp goes to from 1 minute cooldown on live to 2 minutes. So it's a pretty big change. And then Remorse's Winner is the same. Asphyxiate is its own demon now. You can have Asphyxiate and Strangulate as base, and of course you have Death Grip as base, and you still have Mind Freeze. So there's no movement speed thing for Death Knights. I'm not doing artifact testing in this video, but this is kind of like this unmovable wall of plate and blood magic and self-healing and stuff. So you have your tools to help you stop damage coming in or close distances by bringing things to you. You can also stun them if you get to you, if you don't take Asphyxiate. So this is a 20-yard range stun or silence, Omen and cooldown. So pretty strong. I think Defile looks kind of weak in comparison to the Breath of Sindragosa because Breath does heal for 25% of all damage taken in the last 6 seconds, sort of like how Deathstrike is the last 50% for 6 seconds. And it also stacks Blood Shield, though. So that's a pretty big deal. The minimum can be 3% of your maximum health every tick. So Blood Shield, what it looks like, it is 100% of your HP. So you can, like, Breath when you're not tanking and stack a huge Blood Shield before you tank swap, for example. Bone Storm is kind of a burst heal because it deals 19 ticks, same as Death and Decay. It deals 1 extra tick as the animation finishes, so it should do 18 ticks, but it does 19. And each tick will heal you for 1% of your maximum health per strike. So a little damage and some burst healing, I guess. That's why I think the File feels kind of weak. It's easier because it's just a 1 rune 30-second cooldown. It lasts 10 seconds and it does damage and you take 10% less, but I don't know if it actually is like super it doesn't feel like it's going to be really big deal compared to Breath. Technically, I kept it up for almost 1 minute. And a much better Blood Death Knight could keep it, Breath going for much longer, I'm assuming. So I think that this is a huge, powerful buff. I don't know if Breath will be this big or if they're going to keep it powerful and then just buff Defile. Maybe buff Bone Storm a little bit. We'll see. But if you have any questions or comments, please leave them in the YouTube video stuff down below. I will see you on the live stream. If you want to watch the entire VOD of my 3 hours of testing, it'll be linked on my Google document for my class guide and my channel guide. And linked down below in this description box as well. Thank you all so much for watching. I want to keep these short and sweet to the point. I'm going to kind of talk really quickly because lots of stuff has to get out, but there it is. You can subscribe to my YouTube channel here and check out more Legion beta stuff as it comes out. You can watch me on the live stream, and if you want to toss a couple bucks to me on my Patreon page and keep me going, link is down below as well. I will see you all in the next video.